This segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Good Vibes. I'm Martin False, and joining us, the lovely Debbie Cox-DeNova. She is in the house, and today we're going to talk about something very important, Debbie. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people that worry.
Yes.
And I've been sitting at the lunch table, and everyone's talking about 3-Eye Atlas, and they're worried to death about this asteroid, alien ship, whatever they want to think it is. What if it hits Earth? Well, why worry about it? Can't do anything about it.
Right. Right.
So there's two schools of thought. Should you worry about it and try to hit it with a nuclear bomb, or should you worry about it and not worry about it? Help me out.
Yeah. So it's usually pretty useless to try to negotiate with worry, right? When we talk about worry or anxiety, when we're experiencing it, one of the worst things that we can do is actually make it wrong and push against it and fight against it and play tug of war, because that usually enhances the experience of anxiety and worry. If you ever talk to anybody who's experiencing generalized anxiety, you know that no matter how much reasoning you apply to it, it just continues to go on. And the reason for that is that our brain is actually designed not to be, and a lot of people think we're just kind of, our brain is just reacting to the environment, right? Everywhere we look, it's like someone says something, we react to it. Something happens, we react to it. But actually, your brain is a predicting machine. And so when you are in a conversation with someone, the brain is busy and active predicting what is actually about to be said. So right now, you're probably paying very close attention to the words that are coming out of my, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like there's always a prediction going on. And so when you are, for example, watching the news and you're looking at you're kind of keeping your ear to the ground about the asteroid and anything else that actually creates any level of worry, then what's happening is that you're not only taking in what's happening in the moment, but because the brain is a predicting machine, what it does is it takes from your past experiences and then adds it to what you're experiencing here in the moment. Now, that can be hugely problematic over a long period of time if morning and night you're taking in things that are anxiety inducing for you, because again, you're looking to prepare to do something. The brain is a prediction machine, because if something's about to happen, you're going to be on red alert. You're going to be preparing to stand up and run if you need to run, right? Defend yourself. There are certain things that are going to be in preparation. So just for as an example, you can picture a Granny Smith apple. Okay, Granny Smith apple right in front of you, and I am going to have you imagine grabbing that Granny Smith. Can you see it?
I see it.
Okay.
I hate apples.
Okay, so perfect. Well, I want you to imagine biting into this Granny Smith apple.
Okay.
You hear the crunch, and you can taste it in your mouth. What does it taste like?
Tastes like an apple.
Tastes like an apple.
Yeah.
Okay, and then is it juicy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there
juicy, tarty?
Yep, juicy, tarty. Was there a crunch?
Yeah.
And what did it look like to you?
Red and white.
Okay. So when you are describing that, if we were to do brain imaging on you, what's interesting is there's no apple here, but the imagery center of your brain and the auditory center of your brain would light up as you were talking about hearing the crunch, right? Because your brain is predicting and working to predict what's going to happen. Now, you and I have already talked about the availability heuristic, okay? This is this phenomenon where you are making presumptions about what's likely to happen, what is probable, what's possible to happen based on the thing that your brain can retrieve the easiest from memory. And the thing that it's going to retrieve the easiest is the thing that you expose it to the most. So if you are somebody who just really enjoys going down the rabbit holes of things that are actually stress-inducing, what's going to happen is that when you see something, anything that tells you like, oh, this could happen, you're going to be on red alert and assume, okay, the doom is about to happen. The worst case scenario is about to happen. And what's really interesting is then it shifts your perception so that you're more likely to sense from the environment the confirmation that you, right? So you've seen people who are just kind of reactive to people. They maybe get offended more easily than other people. And so have you ever been in an experience where someone who's easily offended got offended by something that you said that was completely innocent, completely innocuous, but for some reason in them you can see that they believe that you meant offense for them.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that's
It's called
what the brain
life.
does. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what's happening there is there's an availability heuristic for them that like people are out to get me, or I'm a victim a lot. And so what you want to really make sure of to understand is that worry and anxiety are like a smoke alarm. Okay. Your smoke alarm goes off in the house. You're not going to immediately, hopefully, you're not going to immediately go call the fire department and start hosing down the house. You're going to check, because the smoke alarm is there to ask you to check to make sure that you're safe. So in most instances, you're safe. You look around, there's no fire in the house. You're cooking bacon. Okay. And so when you're cooking bacon, what you want to do is then silence the smoke alarm. And basically, because you recognize that you're safe, and basically you're going to calm that down. So same thing here. When you feel worry or anxiety and you're watching something, what we're conditioned to do is deny, suppress, avoid, look away. But Freud said that emotions that are buried never, ever will die, right? So if you bury your emotions, they're festering underneath the surface. Yeah. And at some point in time, they're going to surface. So what we want to do instead is actually, there's a 5-part process that Emma McAdams outlines that I'd love to go over.
Yeah, we'll do that when we come
yeah.
back from the break.
Yep.
You were describing a bad relationship a little while ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're coming right back. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. All right, I'm back with Debbie Cox DeNova. We're talking about managing worry. So I'm going to teach you a lot about me right now. Okay. Hurricane, tsunami, asteroid. Hurricane, I'm going to Rouse's. I'm getting ready to go in the air. It's a week out. We're going to get things prepared. I'm going to go on. I'm not going to worry a lot. Just going to do my job. Tsunami, big tsunami coming this way. Have a week to prepare. Getting in a car, and I'm driving north, and I'll catch a Rouse's somewhere else. Right. Okay, but I'm getting away from it.
Right.
Asteroid coming in, big one, going to hit Earth. Sitting in my lazy boy. I'm not going to Rouse's. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting. I'm going to watch a little YouTube. Whatever happens, happens.
Yes.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so there are a few reasons why this is true for you. First of all, you're very familiar with hurricanes. You've been through just a few of them, right? And behind this desk, and out there in the field. So you have your brain has a lot of data points of like, okay, we've survived this hurricane, we've survived this hurricane, it's probably going to be okay, right? And then when you're assessing risk for a tsunami, you're like, oh, I'm out of here. Like, that's not right. That doesn't seem like it's survivable. So we're going to go somewhere else. And then for the asteroid, it goes to something called your locus of control. So there's a technique that you can use, and this is part of the 5-step process. It's a technique you can use to see like what's within my control and what's outside of my control. If running around and rearranging the furniture of your life isn't going to make a difference because an asteroid is coming, then yes, the best thing that you can do is then just enjoy the time that you have left, and there you go, right? But again, worry and anxiety for most people isn't something that is rational. It's not something they can usually kind of negotiate with. You have a nervous system that easily regulates, and so you're probably not somebody who can as much relate to being anxious in regular everyday experiences. If you are at home someone who actually struggles with it, there are 5 steps that you can take. Number 1, observe it. So rather than turning your back on it the way that people are told to in our society, what you want to do is actually delve into it. You actually want to look and be willing to say, okay, well, what is here, right? And what you're going to do is something called cognitive diffusion. And that means that you're going to separate who you are from what you're feeling. So instead of saying, oh, I am anxious, you're going to say, I'm feeling anxious. Like I'm feeling this and that. And you want to describe it. Find out where it exists in your body. what does it feel like, and actually put it down on paper. So you're actually giving it a chance to live outside of yourself in a way that you can observe. Let go of the judgment of it. Don't push against it, just like that. Number 2, you have to choose willingness. So again, instead of avoidance, you want to remember that this is a signal. It's asking you. Anxiety is saying you're not safe, and you're looking to see whether that's true or not because the smoke alarm is going off, right? So what you can do whenever you're willing to choose into it is maybe if you're feeling anxious, you can actually like exaggerate the jitteriness in your body. You give it a chance to actually express a little bit. If you're feeling tense, you can clench up your body and release it and actually give it expression so that you're not only validating what the feeling is, but you're actually allowing it to have expression in your world.
You're owning it.
You're owning it, right? You're being responsible for it, okay? And you're also saying you're not wrong for being here, right? Okay. So number 3 is explore the thoughts to determine whether you need to take action or to be safe or to soothe the feeling, okay? So push the button on the smoke alarm or get out and call the fire department. Those are 2 separate things. And then number 4, you want to clarify and choose. So going back to what we talked about with the locus of control, right? You're going to write down what's within my control, what's outside of my control. And once you make a list of the things that you can control, that's where you actually want to put your action. If you are just taking in a bunch of things that that are not actionable to you, my encouragement is that you reduce the amount of information that you're taking in the way that it's sensationalized on media, social media, television, right? And take in what's actionable to you. So you see something, you're like, okay, I don't like that. What are you going to do? And you can just take one small action that's based on your values. So identifying your values is really important because sometimes worry and anxiety tells you like, oh, I don't want to give that speech. But that speech could be extremely important to your career, for example. So if you are valuing the progression of your career over this feeling, what you can then do is number 5, which is one of 2 things, act or accept. So action might look like, okay, I feel this anxiety. I feel this tenseness in my body. And I'm going to make that okay. It's all right to feel that way. And I'm going to go in front of the microphone with this feeling inside of myself because what's more important to me is advancement in my career, or what's more important to me is helping these people, right?
You know, I went from I have to do this speech for years to I don't have to do this speech again to now I want to give speeches to the kids in the schools.
Yes. Yeah, so that's a really important thing to recognize is that as you move through your life, your values are going to be fine-tuned in a lot of ways, right? So at one point you may be, more about, moving up the corporate ladder, for example, at home, right? Like trying to support your family. And then at some point in time, you get to a level of success where it's like, how can I give back in a broader way to the community? So you always want to be in touch with what your values are so that you can act. And in a lot of cases, what you're wanting to do, if that anxiety button is just going off, is do the body calming exercises. We know about the physiological side, my very favorite one. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds to slow down your heart rate when you're using that physiological side. So do it 3 times at least. And what you're going to do is you're going to activate that parasympathetic nervous system. And don't forget, it's a double inhale, long exhale, which is going to slow down your heart rate and bring you to calm.
Let's do a show next week on if the alien ship lands. Would you get in it or would you avoid it at all costs? That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Think about that one.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. The alien ship is coming. This segment was brought to you by A.J. Doman Chevrolet. We say yes when others say no.